After more than a year of living in the forest and studying animals, this is my favorite wildlife video that I've ever taken. Last summer, during the height of the pandemic, I decided to move to a cabin in the woods in northern Michigan for 2 months to get away from people and to connect with nature. I fell in love with the area and I ended up staying much longer than I had planned. And recently, I moved into a home that I'm building in the woods full-time. So I've been spending a lot of time outdoors, just enjoying all the amazing wildlife that we have around us. There are deer, foxes, coyotes, bears, eagles, owls, woodpeckers, spiders, and all sorts of other creatures that live in the woods around me. And because I'm always exploring, I've managed to see some pretty amazing things over the past year and a half. I do get to show all of it on YouTube, since there's a lot of rules about what I can and cannot post. But I thought I would share one of my favorite videos with you today. This is a short clip of a white-tailed deer doe and her 2 spotted fawns that visited my property last spring. It was an overcast day and the sky was lightly raining, so I didn't think that the quality would be that great. But when I checked the footage later on, I was pleasantly surprised at how well it turned out. I was even more surprised by how close they got to the house while I was filming them. I was sitting on my porch swing with my camera and a 400mm lens, hoping to catch some wildlife. The rain kept most of the animals away, but every once in a while I'd hear some deer in the trees. I didn't think anything of it until I saw this doe come out of the bushes. She took a few steps onto the lawn and then stopped to graze on some grass. In the wild, white-tailed deer typically only eat vegetation. They mostly eat leaves, buds, twigs, and aquatic plants. They rarely eat meat or anything else that isn't plant-based. However, in suburban areas like where I live, they will occasionally eat things like cat and dog food, especially if it's left outside. This doe must have smelled my dog's food because she came over and started eating it while I was filming. That's why she looks so comfortable around me. She's never seen a human before and has no idea that I'm sitting here watching her. She's only focused on getting her next meal. When she was done eating my dog's food, she went back into the bushes and I saw her fawns for the first time. These 2 little fawns were hiding in the bushes while their mother was out looking for food. When she came back, she started licking them and bonding with them. All 3 of them stayed on my lawn for another hour or so, and I was able to film them while they were eating, playing, and just hanging out. The scientific name for the white-tailed deer is Odocoileus virginianus. The species is the most widely distributed and most hunted large mammal in North America. There are many subspecies of white-tailed deer all across the continent, and they vary in size and color depending on where they live. In Michigan, we have the eastern white-tailed deer. The males can be between 20 and 40 inches tall at the shoulder and can weigh anywhere from 65 to 300 pounds. Females tend to be smaller. White-tailed deer are known for their large, dark eyes, long lower legs, reddish-brown fur, and, of course, their white tails. Their fur color varies throughout the year. During the summer, they have spotted coats to help camouflage them from predators. As they get older, their spots start to disappear. By the time they reach adulthood, most of them lose their spots entirely. But there are some exceptions. If they live in heavily wooded areas, or if they spend most of their time in the shadows, their fur may stay spotted. Spotted adult deer can be seen in Michigan, but it's not common. White-tailed deer are crepuscular, which means that they are most active during dawn and dusk. This is when they are most vulnerable to predators, so they are programmed to be the most active during these times. They spend most of their days resting and hiding, and they usually don't come out until the sun goes down. They typically travel between 1 and 2 miles each night in search of food, and they often travel along the same route. Because of this, deer are often hit by cars at night, especially during the fall when it gets dark earlier. Their diet changes throughout the year, and they mostly eat whatever is in season. In the spring and summer, they eat things like buds, leaves, grasses, and forbs. In the fall, they switch to acorns, beech nuts, and other mast. They also browse on woody vegetation like twigs and small branches. Sometimes they eat things like apples and other fruits that grow on trees. As I was filming this doe and her fawns, I noticed something else in the background that really piqued my interest. A red-shouldered hawk was perched in a tree watching us. This hawk was likely watching the deer and waiting for one of the fawns to wander off by itself. Hawks will often eat fawns, but they also hunt adult deer. Red-shouldered hawks are fairly common throughout Michigan and most of eastern North America. They prefer mature, deciduous forests near water, and they mostly eat small mammals like squirrels, mice, and chipmunks. They also eat rabbits, opossums, and other predatory birds. They will sometimes eat carrion, and they will occasionally prey on reptiles and amphibians. Even though they sometimes eat deer, it's not common for them to target healthy adults. They usually go after fawns or sick and injured adults. As I was watching this hawk, I could tell that it was eyeing the deer, and I was worried that it might try to attack one of the fawns. I knew that it wouldn't go after the mother, since she could easily outrun the hawk, but the fawns were at risk. I kept watching, and sure enough, the hawk swooped down and grabbed one of the fawns. It only had a few seconds to react, but Mum knew something was coming. She got up and started screaming, and the fawn that was being attacked started running. The whole thing happened so fast. I was shocked when I saw it on the camera. I couldn't believe how quickly the hawk had gotten the fawn. I watched as the hawk flew up into the tree with its prey. It was trying to tear it apart and eat it, but the fawn fought back. The fawn kicked and clawed at the hawk, and the two of them were tangled up in the branches. I couldn't tell who was winning, so I kept filming. As the struggle continued, the fawn managed to get free and run back to his mother. They both ran off into the bushes, and I never saw them again. I was so excited when I saw this footage. I knew it would make a great video. I couldn't wait to edit it and see how it turned out. But when I watched it, I realized something. I had only filmed the beginning of the attack. I hadn't gotten any footage of the actual attack or the aftermath. I felt kind of bad for doing that, but I knew I couldn't risk getting closer. I didn't want to scare the deer away, or worse, get hurt by the hawk. Hawks are wild animals and they don't care about human safety. They are extremely dangerous and they should never be approached. Even if they look small and cute, never approach a hawk. If you do, you might get hurt. Even though I didn't get the ending of the attack, I was still happy with my video. I knew it would be a hit. And when I posted it online, I was right. It was the most popular video I'd ever posted, and I got a lot of positive feedback. People loved it. I was so happy to see so many people enjoy my work, but it made me sad at the same time. I knew that the fawn hadn't made it. I felt bad for not being able to save him, but I knew I couldn't have done anything. It was just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. And I guess I was in the right place at the wrong time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below to let me know what you think. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.